What's going on there, everyone? Well, I found a very, to me, disturbing headline while looking through Fox News' website. Florida Democrat says those making fun of members of Congress online should be prosecuted. Can we say authoritarian much? My goodness. So, don't worry about freedom of speech, because the Democrats don't want you to have that. Let's get into this crazy article. The article itself's not crazy, but the woman is. Democratic Representative Frederica Wilson said, people who are making fun of members of Congress online should be prosecuted. The Florida Congresswoman made the comments on Tuesday outside of the Homestead temporary shelter for unaccompanied children in her home state. Those people who are online making fun of members of Congress are a disgrace, and there is no need for anyone to think that is unacceptable. Sick, Wilson said. That statement doesn't make sense. And there is no need for anyone to think that is unacceptable. Maybe there was a typo, not sure, but that doesn't sound right at all. We're going to shut them down and work with whoever it is to shut them down. And they should be prosecuted, she added. You cannot intimidate members of Congress, frighten members of Congress. It is against the law. It is shame to this United States of America. All right. I see people calling them morons and very accurate statements against them. I haven't seen just a bunch of people threatening them or intimidating them. It seems the exact opposite is happening. You have members of Congress trying to threaten and intimidate the people of the United States. And they're spreading false information. You got AOC going out there and she's getting ragged on so hard right now. Deservedly, she is getting ragged on because she's a liar. She's a liar and an imbecile. She has no place in government. The best thing that she should have ever amounted to was probably that bartender she used to be. That was probably the best thing she could have ever amounted to, or should amount to. She's not that intelligent. My son, an 8-year-old boy, can outthink her. When his little gears get to going, he comes up with a logical outcome to something. She does not. She takes it to a whole nother level, and so do a lot of members of Congress. And I'm not even going to say this is just on the left, mainly nowadays. But yes, there's been members on the right, primarily kind of in the past, who have said some ridiculous things. And they're never held accountable, and they're members of the government. They should be held accountable. How about that? Yeah, I don't think she'd like that spin. I'm going to pass the tweet. Wilson's comments came amid a controversy over a Facebook group that includes Border Patrol agents and where they allegedly mocked and posted graphic content about members of Congress, including New York Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Who cares? They're allowed to do that. Freedom of speech. Freedom of opinion. They can say what they want. While I think they should definitely keep their work life and their home lives and personal lives separate, they don't have to. They can talk about whatever the hell they want to. America. I think the Democrats, not as a whole, but a good portion of them, forget what America is. I don't think they like America, first off, and we could see that in a lot of their policies, or the lack of policy. The website ProPublica posted a story Monday headlining, "Inside the Secret Border Patrol Facebook Group where agents joke about migrant deaths and post sexist memes." Like I said, they probably should try to keep their work life and home or private life separate, but they're still allowed to do this stuff. We're allowed to do this. As long as they are not inciting violence, I have no problem with anything they do. In addition to showing indifference towards the death of migrants, members made vulgar jokes about AOC and other members of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus ahead of their visit a Border Patrol facility in Texas on Monday, the story alleged. That doesn't confront me. It just doesn't confront me. These are people's opinions. People are allowed to have opinions, no matter how vile their opinions may be. They're allowed to have them. We let these progressives speak on television. The Democratic debates, need I say more? Look at the content they're spewing. It's insane. It's very anti-American, and I can't believe anybody would vote for any of them people. Wilson also blamed President Trump for people losing respect of Congress and the White House, saying he has taken this country to its knees. No. Congress has done a very, very good job of tearing themselves down. And the White House, the only people who really seem to attack the White House are people in America, leftists in America. That's really it. I couldn't even tell you the numbers of people from all other countries, like all over the world. And they like Trump. They're glad to see someone like Trump. They're glad for America we have a leader that doesn't seem to give a shit about, excuse my language, I apologize, but doesn't seem to care about what everyone else thinks. He's trying to get things done to benefit America. And people around the world are actually very respectful of that and proud for us. It's weird. It's kind of like these leftists are stuck in a bubble. A little tribalized bubble. Because they are. She once accused Trump of being hateful towards black people and declined to participate in the State of the Union address in 2018. Show me. I keep hearing all these leftists sit there and complain that Donald Trump is a racist. Show me one instance. Give me one factual instance. You can't do it because Donald Trump is a businessman. He's a business Democrat from the 80s. He doesn't have time for racism. He's trying to get things done. And you can't do that when you're a bigoted person. You just ain't going to be able to get a lot done. Because your bigotry will make you go crazy. It's ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This woman is ridiculous. The Congresswoman also rose to prominence in 2017 after she leaked the conversation Trump had with Gold Star widow whose husband died in Niger, and criticized the president for being so insensitive after he said that the slain soldier knew what he signed up for, but when it happens, it hurts in a way. That's a very legitimate thing to say. The soldier did know what he signed up for. Yeah, he did know. When you join the military, there's a good chance, if there is a war, that you could die. It's a price you're willing to pay for American freedoms. And whatever people who are in the military want to think, How dare her to be offended for someone else? Why would you do that? Oh, it's a common leftist thing. Very common leftist thing. But yeah, as you can see, they keep escalating. The people on the left keep escalating everything they can. Now, Congresswomen, and probably, there's no probably about it, Congresswomen and men on the left really don't want you to have free speech anymore. You can see it. The writing's on the wall. Especially if you're a conservative. My goodness, if you're a conservative, they want you scrubbed from the planet. Look at what they've been doing. Twitter scrubs conservatives. Facebook scrubs conservatives. YouTube has started Not as bad, admittingly, but they have started to scrub conservatives. This is all leading up, all this is leading up to the 2020 and election meddling via big tech. That's what all this is leading up to. And this woman just wants people that disagree with her silenced. This is a common theme on the left. Silence the opposition. There have been a lot of very, very bad regimes in the past that have done this exact same thing. You know, old mean Mr. Mustache, he did the same thing. Political opponents had to be scrubbed. They have to be eliminated. And that's essentially what the left is starting to try to do now. Starting to do, not try. They are doing it. They have very powerful connections. You know, you got all these left-wing politicians sitting here complaining about how the people on the right, the politicians on the right, take all this money and funding from these big corporations. Well, that's kind of like the pot calling the kettle black. You know what I mean? How are these leftist politicians going to say, oh, but this, that, and the other, they take money from the Koch brothers and all this stuff? Well, not only do y'all take money from the same entities, big corporations, y'all pretty much have all of big tech in your pocket. It's frightening. All citizens of America and worldwide should be looking at this with fear in your heart and we got to figure out how to make this end. You know, we the people, because the government doesn't seem to be wanting to do too much. Yes, they'll come out and say, "Oh, we obviously need big tech regulation." Well, then do it. Get it done. I mean, there is bipartisan support for regulation of these big tech companies because they are so powerful and they control so much data. You got to think, what are they doing with all that data? They keep it for a reason. It's for they can sell it to other companies that are generally outside the U.S. But yeah, so this lady wants to prosecute you for wrong think and wrong speak, in her opinion. I'd love to hear your comments on this one. This would probably be interesting. But as always, like, share, and subscribe, and I will catch you on the flip side.